I was invited by Robin Allen to be the host of this evening's call. Really excited to do it. Tonight, we have some really exciting information to share that can bring positive changes to both your health and your financial wealth and well-being. In a minute, I'm going to introduce you to a panel. We have a panel of gentlemen here who will share their story about how the information we talk about has enhanced their lives and the lives of their families and that of their friends. Some amazing stories. But you know, we're all hearing the news about how a plant-based diet is the key to us achieving our maximum health. And you know, that sounds good, but how do you really get more plant-based food into your diet? I mean, everybody's already busy, we're crazy, trying to figure out life, but how are you gonna do it? So in 30 minutes here on this call, we're gonna share with you a nutritional approach that will absolutely change your life and change the lives of your family and your friends. What we're offering tonight is a plant-based powder and a capsule that will absolutely allow you to consume 30 fruits and vegetables, and you can do it every day in about 60 seconds. And one of the other things you may hear somebody mention the word Tower Garden. Tower Garden is a portable system that we offer that allows you to grow your own organic vegetables and fruits right in your own home. We have one in our living room. We have two on our deck. We're growing our fruits and vegetables all year long without dirt, with no weeding. It's amazing. So, you know, how do you truly embrace a plant-based meal program? This is how we do it. 30 fruits and vegetables every day in 60 seconds and growing our own. Now, as I mentioned, joining me today, I have a distinguished panel that will help me really kind of share with you the story about how this product has enhanced their lives. And just by way of quick introduction, let me just go around and introduce everyone to you. We have Otto Tucker, who's a retired police sergeant. Otto, say hello to the group.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Otto. We also have Terry Spencer, who's a certified health coach and ordained minister. Terry, can you say hello?
Hello.
Thank you. And then Henry Lee, who is a wellness educator. Henry, can you say hello?
Hey everyone, great to be here.
Thank you, sir. And then Daryl Blunt, who's a healthy living advocate. Daryl, can you wave to the group?
I can. Great to be here.
Good. Well, each of us will share our story regarding the experience of how this plant-based powder in a capsule has really dramatically changed our lives in terms of our health and also in terms of our financial well-being. But let me start with my story. You know, one day my wife came home and she had just learned about all of this talk about fruit and vegetables in a capsule. And I kind of got caught up in her excitement and I said, let's give it a try. Turns out that was the best decision we could have ever made, because after trying the product for just a few months, we started to notice a lot of positive changes. You know, things like more energy. We were losing weight because we were eating better, quicker recovery from our workout at the gym. We were even inspired to go to the gym more often. I think we were doing like 2 or 3 days a week, and now we're at the gym 5 days, some days even as many as 7 days. We're sleeping better. Seems like our hair and our fingernails and everything just grows a little bit better. And you know, we have that desire to eat more fruits and vegetables as a result of taking the product. And in our household, guys, we're just never sick anymore. And I'm really proud to say we're totally prescription free. And it's just a great, great feeling. So after all of that positive feedback from the product, we just jumped all the way in. We got committed. We started taking the product every day, and we have been doing that now for 3 years, still enjoying all those great benefits. We invested in Tower Gardens, so we're growing our own vegetables, fruits, vegetables, watermelons, cantaloupes, everything right on our deck, some of this inside our home. And then finally, after seeing that the company that makes all of this possible has been around for 50 years, my wife actually sold her educational business, and now this is actually our business, sharing this information like we're doing here. So it's really been an exciting run for it. And you know, I don't want to make any claims in terms of health claims or financial claims, but this product has allowed us to enjoy a level of health that we never imagined was possible. And doing the business part of this has been a huge part of helping us become a 100% debt free. And we've been that way now for the last year and a half. And today, my wife and I, we're not bound by any kind of a corporate, office. We can work anywhere. We travel. We can do our business from mountains, from the trails, from the beach. It doesn't matter. And it's really been truly a blessing. So this is kind of the life that we've always dreamed of. And I think the product and the company, our partnership with this company has made all of that possible a lot faster than we ever imagined it coming together. So that's kind of my story. Now, Otto, I know you have a story, but tell me, as a retired police sergeant, how the heck did you ever get involved in this program?
Wow, amazing journey. But I'll share a little bit about my background first, and then I'll get right into my health journey, and you'll hear my story there.
Okay.
Again, my name is Otto Tucker. I retired from law enforcement in 2003. During post-retirement, I worked at several IT jobs. Since the beginning of the pandemic, I spent my leisure time writing and arranging music. I'm also a husband, father, and a prostate cancer survivor. My health journey began a short time prior to my prostate cancer diagnosis in 2011. I recognized I needed to make healthy living choices. I started replacing unhealthy snacks and junk food with eating more fruits and vegetables. During my prostate cancer recovery, my wife and I met Beverly and Johnny Grandison. They introduced us to a healthy living community and the whole food nutrition in a capsule, along with delicious and nutritious shakes. Prior to taking the capsules and drinking the shakes consistently, I'm gonna say that again, consistently, I was taking medicine for high cholesterol and acid reflux. I also dealt with seasonal colds. Without fail, I would catch a cold between November and January every year, and that would linger on for several weeks.
Oh.
Over time, as I consistently took the capsules, drank the shakes as a healthier snack, and made healthier lifestyle choices, I was able to come off both the cholesterol and acid reflux medicine. Now, I'm excited now. I can say I maintain normal cholesterol levels and haven't caught a cold in over 7 years.
Wow.
And I'm also thankful for this healthy living community and all the nutritious products and various resources that are helping me in my healthier living journey. Thank you again for inviting me. I can't think of a better place to be at right now.
Well, Otto, that is a powerful story, and I like all the benefits you talked about there. When you talked about the cancer, I'm reminded of one of our partners here at Juice Plus, Robert Avery, who's an oncologist, and he talks about how good nutrition can actually keep our good green genes working and turn off the bad genes. And I think that's what we're seeing from what you're sharing with us here. That's an awesome story. Thank you so much. Well, let's move on to Terry Spencer. Terry, tell us what attracted you to this business and to the product, and just give us your story.
Thanks, Everton, and for allowing me to share my story. But I do want to say one thing that I have in common with Otto is I just recently retired from the police department. I was one of the, or actually I was the first African-American on the police motorcycle in my department. So I just recently retired. And I just want to thank Otto for his service as well. But
well, awesome. Thank you for yours too.
Thank you. So I was introduced to this concept of healthy living back in 2013. And that was by means of this growing, which you talked about earlier, was the Tower Garden. And that was growing it without dirt and not having to dig in the Arizona hard dirt. And that was a good thing for me because I researched it for a long time. But when I saw this concept, I thought it was great and eventually bought my own or made it a Christmas present for myself. And so a few months later, I learned there was a unique way I could get the nutritional benefits of juicing in an easy way. And that was through these capsules containing dense whole food nutrition, rich plant-based powders from a variety of fruits and vegetables. You know, my wife actually learned about it a few years prior to that, but she really didn't tell me anything about it. However, I thought that the concept of plant powders in capsules was a no-brainer. That's because I didn't get, or I wasn't eating enough fruits and vegetables that I should be eating on a regular basis or on a daily basis. And so I thought it was a no-brainer, and it was easy for me to get on board. And so since I started that regimen, I noticed that given my job that I just retired from, well, I always had this issue of weak hands and weak arms. And so after starting that, I noticed that my arms and my hands weren't weak as they were before. I also noticed that after a few months of being on it, that I didn't have my seasonal colds. Every season I would get a cold, and I noticed I didn't have my seasonal colds anymore. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And then the last thing was, well, not the last thing, but one of the other things I noticed was that I had more energy. Given my job of being a police officer, carrying all that equipment, it was very tiring at times, and having those long shifts was tiring. And I noticed I had a little bit more energy. And so I keep that regimen in my daily routine now. I continue to take the plant powders. And as Otto said, I've incorporated the shakes as well. And not to mention incorporating other things throughout my regimen, which has helped me greatly. And so given that, for me, it's a no-brainer, and I'm gonna continue to doing that for as long as I can. So thank you for allowing me to share my experience.
Well, Terry, that's amazing. I'm telling you, to hear that story, and what I like about calls like this is that everybody's story is a little bit different. It just shows you that good nutrition can help you on the inside, on the outside. And it's kind of interesting, I read a story yesterday that only 13% of the population is really consuming enough fruits and vegetables. And this plant-based product is an awesome way to kind of bridge that gap between what we do eat and what we should be eating. So thank you again for sharing that story. I love it. Well, now I'm going to turn over to Henry Lee. And Henry, tell us a little bit about how you're involved in the program.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on here, Everton. First of all, I just want to thank the other gentlemen for their service. My journey actually started in the classroom. And so looking at around 16 years ago, I was teaching anatomy, physiology, biology, chemistry, environmental sciences. And someone mentioned earlier about the vertical aeroponic garden systems that we have called tower gardens. And that's actually how I entered in. Initially, I found out about this NASA technology developed concept that was eventually put into the land exhibit down in Disney World. And we have access to this in our classroom. So I installed 3 of them in my classroom, started teaching about sustainability and how the future of food, which is really now the now of food, because of the desertification and all sorts of different problems that we're running with pesticides and herbicides. And so my students get exposed to all these fresh fruits and vegetables that they wouldn't have otherwise. Through that, I was introduced to the juice powders and started eating the juice powders myself. My inflammation started going away from snowboarding, from a ton of volleyball and marching band in high school and college. And I think the biggest difference that I've seen is really just like not getting sick. Every time I hear about people getting sick left and right, coughing and sneezing, and especially with kids, wiping boogers all over the place. I wouldn't say that I am invincible, and I in no way claim that I'm Superman and unstoppable, right? But the symptoms just disappear super quickly. And you know that you are getting the proper nutrition that you would be eating if the world was a perfect place and you had access to all these, fruits and vegetables in your backyard that didn't travel thousands of miles. But I wanted to share with you guys something that really was near and dear to my heart, because really, who gets excited about fruit and vegetable powders? It's really what it does for you. And to do that, I want to give you a little visualization about a dream that came to me. One of my favorite dreams, or types of dreams, are when my mom visits me. You see, back when I was about 11 years old, oldest of four, my mom passed away from breast cancer. She was my best friend, shared everything with her. And I think, obviously, traumatic moment in my life. But just last week, I want to read you off what I woke up to. And I wrote down in first person. And I'm not going to bore you with the entire dream, but this is just a segment of it. I look up and I see my brother Gameng standing over me on my right. And he has this look of fear on his face. And he says, "Mom's coughing again. And it's getting really bad this time." Okay, I've got some left in my pocket. I empty them out in my hand. I see 2 fruit, 2 veggie, 2 berry, 2 omegas. Perfect. We run downstairs to her bedroom in the basement. Shoot, I left my water bottle upstairs. What if she doesn't get enough water? Well, okay, so we run back upstairs, grab my water bottle. We're running out of time. So we jump down the steps this time, shake my water bottle, and I hear that there's only enough water for maybe 1 or 2 gulps. Okay, she might have enough water, but just in case, we should probably run upstairs and grab some more so she's more happy. We hear her coughing in the next room and it's getting worse. So I spot a faucet in the unfinished part of the basement and I start filling up my water bottle, but I notice that there's a few drips of white paint. Crap, I can't give this to Mom. Okay, don't panic, run back upstairs, fill it up. And so we climb the steps and I get distracted by all these buckets and toys and everything that are on the steps. And I start tripping over them. I reach up and I start climbing and I keep on falling and my mind starts wandering. I wonder what's in these buckets. What are you doing? Mom's cough is becoming more frequently. Stop. Come on, just climb. The sudden rush of fear floods in my body. And what if I don't make it back in time and Mom doesn't make it throughout the night? So I'm climbing harder and harder and harder up the steps in the wrong direction. And it seems like for every step I take forward, I slide 2 steps back. I start crying. "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm trying to get you some more water. I'll be right back, I promise." I look over my shoulder and I see Doctor standing next to her bed now. And Dad's crying. Wait a minute, he never cries. No, 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 God, please don't know. And that's when I woke up. And so I tell you this story because a lot of times I feel like I got to know everything on the research and I got to know how it works and how it's produced and everything. And it's so simple, guys. It's so simple. It's fruits and vegetables that are dehydrated in a capsule, and you never know if you could just simply put this into the hands of someone, if it could save their life. And we'll never claim that this is something that is going to absolutely cure or treat or save someone's life, but you never know what support it's going to do in all the systems in the entire body, because it's food. It is just food. So my call to action for you guys today that are on here is don't overanalyze it. God gave us 2 gifts on this planet: your bodies and all the plants that he planted on here in order to build that first gift. It's so simple. So get back to the person that invited you to this call, and they can tell you all about about the juice powders, and you can start getting out there and saving lives. Thanks for having me.
Wow, Henry, that's a powerful story, my friend. I'm glad that you shared that with us. Thank you very much for sharing the personal part of that. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that was touched by your message. So thank you so much. You mentioned something here, and the common theme I'm hearing is that good, solid nutrition can really change our lives and help fix a lot of things that are wrong with us. And somebody put in the chat, asked me, what is this plant-based powder? And I just wanted to just take 2 seconds to let you know that, you know, how this product is made. We partner with family-owned farmers who grow amazing crops all across the country. And they harvest these crops, these fruits and vegetables at the peak of their ripeness. So we're not talking about tomatoes and things we buy at the store that are plucked and picked, you know, weeks early, and much of the nutrition is lost. We're talking about picked at the peak of their ripeness. And then we take those plants and convert them, as Henry just mentioned, and put them in a plant-based powder and put them in capsules. And that's what you're eating. This is a food. It's not some hocus pocus supplement. It's a food product. It's real fruits and vegetables you're getting into your system. And all the things that you're hearing about people having positive results is because they're getting better nutrition. And that's really the bottom line here. Very simple, good nutrition, better health. So let's go to Daryl. Daryl, take us home, buddy. Tell us a little bit about your story and how you got involved here.
Well, thanks, Everton. Hello, everyone. I'm Daryl Blunt, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm grateful to be at this event, and thanks for inviting me to share my story. I'm a proud father and grandfather to 5 adult children and 1 grandchild. I'm also a healthy living advocate, nonprofit executive, and part-time entrepreneur. I learned some bad eating habits growing up and had no knowledge of the importance of eating a healthy diet. I have spent most of my life overweight, and it's had a negative impact on my psyche, self-esteem, and confidence. Privately, I felt ashamed of my body and myself, which is not the easiest thing to admit. In addition to the dissatisfaction I was feeling with myself, I have carried the frustration and sadness of watching my father, mother, brother, and now my best friend die in their 60s because of preventable chronic diseases. 27 years ago, I was introduced to these concentrated fruit and vegetable plant-based powders, and recently this healthy lifestyle program, and also being able to grow my own food since 2012 with the Tower Garden. In fact, now we own, as a family, 6 Tower Gardens, 2 of the home Tower Gardens, and just got 1 shipped in and what have you, and then 4 of the flexes. And so we can get, you know, have fun with this and get a lot of the fruits and vegetables that we want year round and as we need them, and in the freshest and most ripest form. But the purpose of all that is, you know, I'm building better health habits that my parents never did develop. I'm getting whole food, plant-based nutrition in my diet every day, drinking plenty of water, exercising, and sleeping better. I feel better than I have felt in a long time and have a lot more energy. I am participating in walks and races that I never did previously. And I'm determined to give my body what it needs for a long and healthy life. I plan to be the grandparent my parents never fully got to be. I am so thankful that I learned about the power of fruits and vegetables. It has been one of the biggest contributors to my improved health and a way to age with confidence. So Everton, thanks for allowing me to share, and I'll turn it back to you.
Wow, Daryl, what a great story. But I really appreciate you sharing that. You know, and the thing that gets me is not only you talked about the improvement you're bringing to your own health, but the many years you've been working with this, sharing this good news with people. Just think about all the other lives that you're touching. It's amazing. Well, guys, I just want to thank all of you for sharing. It really means a lot to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to the audience here. And so thank you so much. You know, at the start of the call, we said that we were going to talk about plant-based products that could help you in terms of your health, but also in terms of your finances.